Welcome dear students. Welcome back to LMS initiative of Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. So we already have completed the 4 sessions in particulate technology course, the 3rd semester chemical engineering subject. Let us now see what we are going to discuss in this session and also recall the topics we learnt in the previous session briefly. So in the last class we talked about open and closed circuit grinding, and after that the comparison between crushing and grinding operations were discussed. Then we saw some of the important applications where the crushing and grinding materials are employed in industries. Okay. So today I have planned for a discussion on classification of size reduction equipments. So from there on we will be taking up the different size reduction equipments to see their construction, working and applications. So in today's session I am taking in detail about jaw crusher. So one of the very widely used crushing machine in industry. So let us start with the classification. Okay, so this is how the size reduction equipments are classified into various groups. The first category is the crushers, so which produce coarse materials with a very few fine particles. So here also we have two categories. One is a primary crusher, the other one category is secondary crushers. So in the primary crusher category we have jaw crusher. In the secondary crushers we have gyratory crusher and crushing rolls or roll crusher. So this is the second category under the classification. So we have grinders which give intermediate and fine particles. We have equipments like hammer mills, then rolling compression mills. Under that, two types of rolling compression mills, bowl mills and rolling mills. Then finally we have attrition mills, then revolving mills such as rod mills, ball mills, pebble mills, tube mills. That is the second group. The third group is ultrafine grinders. So here also we have hammer mills that are provided with some internal classification arrangement. The material that is getting crushed is classified into fractions in some arrangement inside the machine. So other two ultrafine grinders are fluid energy mills, agitated mills. The last category is the cutting machines. So we have knife cutters, dicers and slitters as the equipments used for cutting action of size reduction. So let us take up the primary crusher, that is jaw crusher. So jaw crusher is a widely used crusher. As you've already studied, a primary crusher is the one which takes the feed in the form of big lumps and convert it to a size of smaller lumps. So most of the crushers are low speed machines. Similarly, jaw crusher is also designed in the same way. Coming to its principle, the jaw crushers mainly employ compression as a mechanism for size reduction. So as the name itself indicates, the main parts of this crusher are two jaws which are acting as grinding elements. Grinding element means the part of a crusher or a grinding machine, so which actually supplies the kind of force required to reduce the size of the particles. So these are the elements or the parts of the equipments which are coming into direct contact with the material being subjected to size reduction. So most of the pressure or wear is on the grinding elements or the crushing elements. So it consists of mainly two jaws. One is a stationary jaw, that is fixed jaw. The other one is movable jaw. It is one which is reciprocating to apply compression on the feed that is caught between the two jaws. There are two types of jaw crushers. One is a Blake jaw crusher, the other one is Dodge jaw crusher. So the principal difference between Blake jaw crusher and Dodge jaw crusher is the position of fixation of the moving jaw. So in the Blake jaw crusher, the movable jaw or the swinging jaw is pivoted at the top. That means the maximum moment of the jaw is at the bottom. So whereas the Dodge jaw crusher is pivoted at the bottom, that is the maximum moment of the jaw is at the top. Let us now briefly discuss about the construction and working principles of jaw crusher. So out of the two types of jaw crushers, Dodge jaw is not that widely used because it has a tendency to choke, because the movement at the bottom is less. The tendency to choke is more in case of Dodge jaw crusher. Okay, so it is not that widely used as it of Blake jaw crusher. So we'll consider the Blake jaw crusher for our learning purpose, then see how it is constructed, what are its important parts, how it is operated to reduce the size of the material. The main parts of the jaw crusher are, so we already discussed the the crushing elements, the two jaws, and apart from that you have a pitman, then two toggles, a heavy flywheel, eccentric shaft that conveys the movement of flywheel to the pitman, then a drawback rod is connected to spring, and a frame that encloses all these parts. So the jaws are the important parts of the machine, the main parts. So they are usually made of a very strong material such as manganese steel that can withstand abrasion. The faces of the jaw are usually corrugated so that the maximum pressure is applied on the small areas of the material being crushed. As we already learned that this jaw is pivoted at the top, the other jaw is stationary, it is a fixed one. You can see in the diagram. This movable jaw, when it is stationary or when it is closer to the fixed jaw, makes an angle of 20 to 30 degree with the fixed jaw. That is how it is positioned. Then we have two toggles which are connected to pitman. Then pitman is driven by eccentric, and there is a heavy flywheel for the operation. Then we have a tie rod or a drawback rod. Then we have a spring for safety purpose. In this machine, the pitman oscillates in the horizontal direction, and this moment is given to the pitman by the eccentric. When the pitman oscillates in vertical direction, that is conveyed to the jaws by means of toggles. So as a result of which, the movable jaw reciprocates, that is moves back and forth during the operation of the mill. Since the action is intermittent, means the crushing action is not continuous, it is intermittent in nature. The load on the machine is not even, so the machine incorporates a heavy flywheel. Okay, that's about the construction of a jaw crusher. So I'll repeat, the important parts are: one is a fixed jaw, other one is movable jaw or a reciprocating jaw. During the operation, the jaw moves in back and forth movement to apply compression on the feed to reduce its size. The movable jaw is pivoted at the top so that its movement is maximum at the bottom. So since the movement at the bottom is more, then the choking tendency of this type of jaw crusher is less. The pitman is incorporated in such a way that it oscillates by the movement of eccentric in vertical direction. That oscillation is conveyed horizontally to the movable jaw by means of toggles. So as a result of which, the swinging jaw, that is a movable jaw, moves back and forth, that is reciprocates during the operation. Okay, now let us understand its working principle. The principle of working is compression. I already told you this. That is, compression is the mechanism of size reduction in a jaw crusher. The opening for feed is at the top of two jaws, that is, material is directly fed between the two jaws from the top. The material gets caught between the two jaws. So as the movable jaw moves back, the material is admitted inside, and when it moves forward, the material caught between the two jaws is compressed and crushed. The crushed material then falls into the narrow space between the two jaws during the backward motion, and again when the reciprocating jaw moves forward, it again gets crushed to still smaller size. So finally, when it is crushed enough to smaller size, it drops down from between the jaws when the movable jaw is pushed backward. The opening and closing of the jaws occurs to about 250 to 400 times per minute in a jaw crusher. So there is a provision for the protection of the parts of jaw crusher. There are two toggles. You can look at the diagram. So one of the toggle is made weak purposely. It is broken into two pieces, then it is fixed by nut and bolt such that whenever some heavy solids are admitted into the machine accidentally, the sudden pressure is set up which causes this toggle to break up, thereby the other important parts are protected. The toggle, being easily replaceable, can be replaced. So that is a protection arrangement given in a jaw crusher. So in the beginning we saw that there are two types of jaw crushers, Blake jaw crusher and Dodge jaw crusher. Now let us understand the important differences between the two. The main difference we already have learnt. The movable jaw is pivoted at the top for Blake jaw crusher, whereas for Dodge jaw crusher it is fixed at the bottom. So since the movable jaw is pivoted at the top, the maximum movement is at the bottom for a Blake jaw crusher. So for the Dodge jaw crusher, the maximum movement will be at the top since the bottom end of the movable jaw is fixed. So due to this reason only, the Blake jaw crusher do not have choking problem. That is, the opening won't get blocked due to maximum freedom of jaw at the bottom. So whereas this tendency to choke is present in case of Dodge jaw crusher. Blake jaw crusher is more suitable for high rate of production, whereas Dodge jaw crusher is suitable for low production rate. So with the Blake jaw crusher, large reduction ratio is not possible. Whereas Dodge jaw crusher, large reduction ratio is possible. So there has been a mistake here. The fifth point under Dodge jaw crusher should have been like large reduction ratio is possible. Please make the correction. So Blake jaw crusher, next point is Blake jaw crusher requires low maintenance, whereas Dodge jaw crusher usually requires high maintenance. The Blake jaw crusher are made in very large sizes. Comparatively, the Dodge jaw crushers are smaller sized machines. The Blake jaw crusher do not give any uniform product, whereas it's possible with the Dodge jaw crusher. The widely used one is the Blake jaw crusher and the seldom used one is a Dodge jaw crusher. So with that we have come to the end of the fifth session. See you again in the next session with some more crushing machines, their operation and construction. Thank you.